It was the last thing Mom ever wanted to have. And I found it for her. So this is from your sister.
You can't leave me out of this. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Clara wanted her to have it. Wanted him to have it, and I've been looking for 8 years, and it's now home. It's his, and it's not going anywhere.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I made him speechless again. I'm sorry.
That's awesome.
And I lied. Sorry. It's not a woman, Dolly. Come on.
I don't know.
She might be happy there.
I don't know. There's an awful lot of women in there.
Go ahead. Share it with everybody because it's yours.
Oh, how nice.
Come on. You don't know the tale, it's too bad because it's not a woman. One of Mom's last wishes was to make sure that Uncle Denny got his gun back. And it has not been seen in about 65 years. So it's not a girlfriend. Yes. I was There's a diamond U on it. It's heavier than hell. If I'd shoot it, I'd probably shoot it.
You might want to get out from underneath or in front of it. He might shoot you.
It doesn't have any bullets in it. No! We're on the outside. Clara wanted, that was her last wish, was to make sure her little brother had his gun back. So,
Where'd you find it, Carol?
it's a long story.
I've got long ears.
Okay, I'll share it with you, but it's where it's supposed to be. And it's not going anywhere.
That is so cool.
I don't even know if it shoots.
Oh yeah.
But I know it's an Ulmen.
Wow.
And then in case he gets a little forgetful, here's the gun case has the brand on it.
Diamond U.
Oh, nice.
I think I made him speechless. Holy shit.
Farther one back of the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Where's Danny? There you go, kid.
Nice play.
And I hope, Lila,
What?
I hope Uncle Denny gives you this gun for the museum when it's done.
Nice play.
Get in there and get that picture, kid. And I'm sorry I lied to you. Clara's going to be mad at me. Oh.
Oh, we're getting more.
Okay. Glad you were done.
Sideways. Bad habits.
School and there's stuff all over the packets, rubber bands and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. So we're slowly getting into it. So now it's like
We get squirted, the exits are here and here.
so yeah. So we're gonna take care of Mom. Go for it. I did my friend yesterday. Oh yeah, and anytime you want to have lunch, it's ready for you. We would just like to remember Tara today. Go out, to the service. We do have it on Pace's computer and stuff, but I think she would not want to use that. I mean, the thing that we have with Tara is, for me, was her giggle. I mean, no matter what, it's like Uncle Denny's giggle. I mean, you never forget it. So, come on. And so, I think what we'd like to start off, well, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm the teacher, and I know you guys will not come up here. But we would like to share stories, Tara's stories with you and stuff. Marla had a wonderful poem.
Oh, she
that-
can do that part first.
Is that okay? I'll flip. So the other thing is the quilt that is over here, the girls gave to Mom when the reunion was in Rudyard. What year was that?
What year was that, Marla?
2005.
Okay. And it was pretty cute because Marla was bidding and Tara were bidding because they were going to give it to Mom, but they didn't know they were bidding against each other.
So it made some good money. So when Aunt Clara signed it, she says, "Oh, is this for me?" And we tried to explain it's for the auction. So Tara and I both heard that. So then when the bidding started, it kept on ringing. So he says, "Go stop Tara, because you're both bidding for the same purpose."
And it was very special when they just wrapped Mom in that. And you can see Tara's name is down on the bottom. And a lot of your names there. Maybe if you weren't there, we wrote it for you. But
And there's a picture on the board over there.
yeah.
Hugging Clara with the quilt around Clara's neck.
So, all I can tell you about Tara is her laugh. That's all I remember. I mean, I know a lot of you have stories and stuff. I won't make you come up here and face the crowd. You can say it wherever you want to. But if anything comes to your heart, she's here. She's giggling. You know, she's probably, got that bear rug around her. And she's going, what the hell are you guys doing here? But we just want to make it special that she is with us and stuff. And unfortunately, she's now with Mom and the rest of the Ulmens, and you have to wait. So, anybody, I know Marla has tons of stories, but I know she's also pretty raw, as we all are. It just does not seem even possible that we lost her so young and stuff.
So many times, so many times, Tara would come down and we went camping on the coast. We both had a great fondness for the ocean. And a fellow I met told me about this beach on the Oregon coast called Short Beach. Well, Short Beach is a long way down to get there. It is a short beach. It's got amazing agates. So when we went down, we went for the day. We took toilet paper, we took sandwiches, we took everything. And we would spend hours, and we would come back drenched because we'd get caught by a wave. And I always would leave the beach earlier because it took me longer to get up the hill. Because the hill itself was kind of developed by the community because so many people, the paramedics, had to rescue so many people off of that cliff that they put in some steps. This deep, and some might be this deep, and it goes this way. So I always started earlier. And then we finally got to the top one day, but these three guys passed us, and they were carrying huge packs. And they went by me like I was standing still. I said, "You want to carry me?" So we finally get to the top, and they're gone, and we get our stuff loaded in the car. Well, when Tara goes anywhere, she's like her brother Roger. She has it all, and her little blue Escape was full to the tops of the seats. Well, we see these guys hitchhiking. We had to go to town. And so she says, "Shall we give them a ride?" Yeah. So we stopped to give them a ride, and they had to lay like this on top of the stuff. So ended up driving them back up another hill because they were diving off the hill. And their ultralights are, yeah. And they said, "Well, we'll take you. We can do tandems." We don't have toilet paper over there. Not gonna happen. We did a lot of crabbing. We would take the boats out crabbing. Aaron, Lila, and Denny, and us went, and we went different times. And Tara would go on one boat and somebody on another, and stuff so that we could show each other what to do. But we spent hours and hours doing the agates, and then shopping for fabric. There wasn't a fabric store that we could see or go into. And just many times playing cards one of them will have it, or they'll find a way to get it.
Jen, I taught her how to drive years ago.
It's not our fault the way she drove though.
Boy, you put that out there real quick.
Did you ever ride with Tara?
But I saved her from her first wreck. She was, Dad's old red pickup that you got that with the motor in. And I was watching her shifting. She went for 30 years. And I was watching her shifting, and lots of times she was headed for a bank of mailbox, which I knew the guy in the mailbox. The detective was get away for something. And I told him, and so I didn't have time to tell her to turn left or whatever the case may be. I just grabbed the steering wheel and jerked it so we missed the mailbox, but I saved her from her first fender bender. That officer, over the years, I worked alongside of him, and I told him the story many times. He said, well, I know I would have got a better mailbox if you had to go out there and replace it, and you would have did it.
And if you ever ride with Tara, and she's giving you the directions, and you want to go right or left, it's go your way or my way, depending on whether she's sitting in the driver's seat or the passenger seat. Because that's all she knew. She didn't know right or left. Go your way or my way. And I was like, really? So, but that was, you know, it's always an adventure when it's like, wait, what do you mean your way? This way. Okay.
Denny, do you remember when we were in Manhattan? Maybe we were looking for, Tara was driving in her van, you and Dick were in the van, and we were going to the thrift store, after thrift store, looking for like a fishing creel or a pole or something to add to Uncle Lee's flower arrangement. And she found that one thrift store, and it had a nice place to park on the road, but she chose the sidewalk in front of it.
She took us several places in Bozeman, and it didn't take long. She was going from door to door, and then with the auction ones or whatever it was. Her and Roger did pretty good on trying to find them places. I don't know if it was the nose did it or what.
Yeah.
Bless their hearts, they knew where they was going.
You could spend a day going from shop to shop to shop to shop.
One time when we were camping, this was a family reunion at Fort Stevens, and Rob and I had reserved a camp spot, and she says, well, get one next to you for me. So, okay, we did. We told her what the spot was, and we called her off and on our way down, and we get there, and we were sitting at the trailer, and she says, I'm here. Well, we get parked. Well, where's here? You're not next to us. So we got set up, and I called her. I says, where are you? She says, I'm in my camp spot. I said, no, you're not. So we started driving around, and she's got her tent set up. She's got her little fire going and all her equipment. I think Lisa's was there, and they had their little white pickup, so we put the tent on the back of the pickup, just like it was, and loaded her up and moved her. Take a look. Another thing she used to do is come down to Portland for Black Friday shopping. She is a shopper. And we had Vicky's Explorer, and we filled it clear to the very top. You could not have gotten a piece of paper in there. But we'd go to like Myron and Frank's, and everybody, of course, is having their sales. Plus, they have their clearance tables. Well, we always hit the clearance tables too. She had this little tote rack with wheels on it, thankfully, that we could pull around, because I don't know how we got everything in there, but she collected a lot of stuff then for her gift baskets for CCA. And she got some really high dollar stuff for really good prices, so she was very thrifty that way.
Speaking of camping, I remember the luau at Brad and Vicky's and the monsoon.
Oh.
And Tara's, we had our tent and Tara had her tent next to ours and it like ripped in half like before bedtime and she slept in there all night. Still monsooning.
I can remember going to the beach and Marla and Tara and Denise, we walking down, picking everything up. And then when they get back to the pickup and they put it in the sides of the doors and it smelled like the ocean all the way back to the
That's a good thing.
Well, Brad and Vicki must have known how she drives too, because when I got to Hawaii, I had called Tara, and this was when, you know, her and Chris were kind of having problems. And so she was on the road doing one of her work, and Brad had said, if she's talking to you, she better be off the side of the road. And sure enough, she just about wrecked when she was talking to me. But as soon as 5 o'clock hit, Brad took that phone out of my hand and hung up on Tara. Because 5 o'clock you shut down in Hawaii and you go watch the sunset. So
When she was over there one time, and Brad and Vicki have a big condo with a deck and a pool and the ocean, and so she was staying there with them, and at night she gets jumpy legs. Her legs get uneasy, so she likes to go walk it off and have a cigarette. Well, Vicki had already gone to bed, and she goes out and she's doing her walkabout. She comes back, Brad had locked up the house, and he went upstairs to bed. She slept on the deck with a throat over her leg. She just thought of grabbing her door. She does it the hard way sometimes. For those of you who didn't know her very well, I'm sorry. You missed somebody special.
I do have to say that Tara and my grandpa were like the biggest hoots together. The first reunion that Dave and I got to go to, Grandpa took us, and it was up in Glacier, and the two of them were so funny, and they just fed off of each other. And I mean, in Kennewick, you know, there was profanities that I had said that my grandpa said. But they were so funny together, and it was just the laughs, the giggles. I mean, our family is incredible. And it's so fun to just be a part of the family and then to come together in a hard time and to still have laughs and great stories. So I just want to let you all know that I am so blessed to be in this family and I couldn't be more proud. So thanks to all of you.
One other thing Tara did, I think she was in high school, I don't know if you remember this, Tina or Roger. She was taking a shower, and she started hollering at her dad because she had to poop. Dad, help me! I don't know if it's him that caught it or her.
That didn't happen just once. We were in the bathroom together, and she was in the tub, and I come in to go to the bathroom, and she's like, hurry, get off. And we're like, I'm not done yet. And she just stood there in the tub. And I'm like, oh, honey.
What? My props aren't here. This is what I remember of Tara. So you gotta use your imagination. This is a rowboat. Actually, it's a motorized boat. Motor's back there. Tara, we all went to Neehart Bay. Elliot, Denise, Rob, Mark, Tara, Dan, and Lila. There was 7 of us. We're crabbing. So we get up in that morning, and those 4 got in their boat, Tara got in with Dan and Lila. I'm back there on the motor, and this is Tara sitting up at the front of the boat. And her sense of humor is, I have these little cut-off pants you women wear coming to below the knee. She takes out of her pocket a zip-tied garbage bag. And she's sitting up there on the front, and we're just watching her, and she rips the bottom open. She sticks one name down here, she pulls that out, and she ties it around her leg. Pulls another one out of his pocket, puts it down here, pulls it up. She's sitting on the front of the boat. And I'm laughing pretty hard at this time. We're not going very straight. And she says, well, I have to pull the crab pots in. I don't want to get my pants wet.
Oh, jeez.
But her shoes and feet are still sticking out. So you see these big, funny shoes she had on. And just sitting up there, just giggling and laughing and talking. 2 garbage bags on, sitting in the front of the boat. Well, they didn't stay exactly up on her leg all the time, because as soon as she grabbed a crab pot, put it down, put holes in it, and pretty soon her pants were wet. And she went that entire day with them garbage bags on her leg. She didn't want to get wet. We didn't catch as many crabs as they do, because we were laughing. She just had a way of doing it. That's what I remember of that trip.
That was a fun night. Well, and you guys went fishing with the crab with the poles.
Crab
in
pole.
Elliott.
We went to an auction, I don't know, some antique store. Elliot and I found some poles in there we paid $5 a piece for. And we went out and they have these little crab things. And they're little, got strings attached to them, and you just throw them out. And we actually caught a crab on the very first cast we threw out. And thought, well, this really worked. Well, I never caught another one after that. But we had our poles and did a little antiquing the next day to I don't know how many different
I was
places.
looking through the contacts on my phone here not long ago. There's Tara's name, and it was from
That trip. I have a picture of her that I downloaded on. It went to somebody's computer. Did you do that? Did I give it to you?
No, I don't think so.
I
Maybe.
don't remember who it was out there. Oh, it was,
Melissa, probably. No?
Aiden was already. Aiden. Yeah. You said it's Aiden.
is that who it was? But she put it on her phone and was going to download it. But we didn't get it made. But I have a picture of her sitting on that boat for garbage bag.
The garbage bag.
We were all out there in the little rowboats, and yeah, she was having a good time.
And she got so. She every time we grab a pot, pull it in the water, and the crap was all up. They were shredded time we were done.
So I take advantage that everybody, you know, us cousins are all pretty close. We've seen each other, but forget that some of them haven't seen each other for years or whatever. Well, Tara, didn't even think we swapped boats. You know, Rob and Marla were in one, and we'd be there, and then the next day we'd swap around, fly them down or whatever, and be there. And Tara comes up to me. She said, I never really got to know Dan and Lila, though. She was a little nervous at first.
I don't think we ever left the ocean standing straight up because our heads were always down looking for agates and shells. And,
Yeah, she was the first one out in the morning to go down there and walk that beach.
yeah.
Look at stuff on the beach.
On the beach we were on there.
And then when it was time to cook them crabs, she just took over in the kitchen and she just did everything.
And she'd be way out there, just a tiny little speck or a turtle. She's way up there.
And we haven't been invited back to Nehart Bay. I don't know if you guys did. The only place didn't like us for the house we stayed in, but it's a recommended place to go. It was great.
Yeah, it had an elevator.
It had an elevator to get up to the upstairs.
Well, they still send me emails, so we'll get down there again. Get down there again. Lila gets her knee fixed.
Yeah, she needs the elevator.
Yeah, I have the elevator right now.
On that same beach, there's a lot of clam digging, several varieties of clams, and you'll be walking around and pretty soon, woo-hoo, you get a shot of water on you.
Well, I don't have a lot of memories with Tara because I'm the second cousin. But much of my childhood, I remember Friday nights, the back of the carryall, all us kids loaded in, and we'd leave after Dad got home from work and drive up to Linus's. And I remember telling Mom and Dad to always wake us up when we went over the toll bridge because we thought that was so cool. You had to stop and pay them some money to go over the toll bridge. But hours and hours and hours of playing at Linus's place. I remember his excavation equipment being around. I remember the phone on the wall, the old-fashioned phone. The adults playing cards, women and men, and Tara. I remember playing with, all the kids. I know Tara and I one time got caught playing with some matches, and I think she got worse punishment than I did, but lots of really great memories up there.
Roger, what was the pig's name?
Pardon me?
What was the pig's name that listened to music and had the record player? What was his name? Do you remember him? And, yeah, you guys had a little phonograph, little kid's phonograph.
Yeah.
And you played music, it had to have music, I can't remember. Arnold?
Was it
Yeah, I think it was Arnold.
Randy would write Arnold in the pen, sometimes write him right.
You read him down the street.
He wrote all the animals except for the horse.
Well, when we were out there for the service, I told Roger, I said, I think this is the first Saturday I've spent in Kennewick that we didn't go out to a rummage sale somewhere. We went to Randy's funeral, Roger's there, they all insisted that we just load up the vehicles and we hit, I don't know, numerous rummage sales through the area, because she said, that's what you have to do, it's Saturday, you gotta be out there at 8, you can't be there at 10, you gotta be there at 30.
That's why Tara drove so fast, because she had to get there before Roger.
You should have told them when they rode in the same car, and they were both trying to get out.
But we have to remember, Roger taught her to drive, right?
Back to the first story.
Well, the rummage sale people were happy to see us about 10 or 20 people piling on the cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looked like a bus would come in and people would come out of doors and, Oh, we called it caravan or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I can't remember what it was, when Clara was out there, Clara rode in the back of Tina's pickup or something, and she bought a little love seat deal. And then somebody bought a pitchfork, and it was... They wrote that love seat in the back of that Chevy pickup for miles and miles and miles.
So Chris, at the service last Saturday, Chris's mom just asked me to share this story. Chris's younger brother shared a story, and Tara was in the Walmart parking lot leaving one time, or I guess she could have been, I don't know. The parking lot was full, and she's trying to go down, and there's a lady, a rather large lady, walking down between the cars, and she's right in the middle. And Tara comes up behind her, and she's been there for a while, and I'm sure she beeped her horn and hollered at her or whatever. She eventually moved over to the side, and when Tara got close to her, she said to her, so when you're walking, just don't walk in the middle, walk to the side so people can go by. And she's like, I can walk wherever I want to. And Tara quickly responded with, not without a wide road sign on it.
That wasn't just once, it was 3 or 4 different times, because when Tara's brother-in-law, one of the Dennyers or something like that, got up and said at the funeral last week, and I remember the story of Pendleton around it, same story, or something like that.
I took her out of a bar one night. We were watching Daddy play pool. And a man walked past us as we were sitting there, and he had Do you know why men put their name on the back of their belt? And some of you already know where this is going. And she says, well, that's when you pull your head out of your ass, you know who you are. I was so upset. I thought he was going to fight Tara. And I said, if I just take her and leave now, are we good? And he's like, yes, we're good.
I said that same thing to Dan yesterday afternoon, picking up these tables and chairs.
I just didn't try, I didn't get it. I have to look at my own belt sometimes to see if it's working.
Quilting and making quilts today, if it wasn't for Tara prompting us and taking us to a class
And we all learned how to put puzzles together this last weekend too.
and right
So
away.
when you put the piece in,
Oh,
you had to tap that down. Might not be there for 10 minutes and you're putting the puzzle in, pretty soon you walk out, grab a piece, put it in. Have one. So we put that puzzle together at Tina's house. And everybody find a piece. We tapped the table all night. I was going to take a piece out when I left that morning and leave one missing so that I'll put it where you could have found it so you could put the last piece in, but I couldn't get it out. Got record of the light and said, well, we'll just leave it.
So, tell me if I get this wrong, Marla, or maybe you can set
This
it
is
up.
a poem. Tara sent me a little booklet with this poem. This is how she felt about life. It's called The Dash. And I've had it for several years. I've got the book, I've got it packed away, so I printed this off, and thank you for reading it, Tina.
We'll give this a shot. The Dash by Linda Ellis. I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on the tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of birth and spoke of the following date with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time they spent alive on earth, and now only those who love them know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. To be less quick to anger and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. So when your eulogy is being read, with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about you, how you lived your dash? Yeah. But as I was reading this last night again, I was like Jessica said, I'm really proud of Crowley. I think a lot of us in this room, if not everybody, lives their dash pretty well and thinks of others more highly of themselves and gives and does and yeah. If anybody, these were some that we had last Saturday. If they're, I'll just put them on the chair here. If somebody would like one else, there's extras. Well, thank you guys for doing this.
Sure. Our pleasure. We have our own lives. We had the 14, or 12 and a half. So I think we are very blessed. We don't get together that often. And we're so glad that Bud's family's here. We haven't been there for a while.
Yay!
And we really thank Denise and Elliot for lending their house and stuff. And so before you leave today, hug everybody, because you never know when your time is up or when the good Lord is like, okay. I mean, I could have had my time, but he told me I was too big of a pissant, yeah. I guess I'm the only knothead that will stand up in front of you guys. But there is lunch. We're going to invite the public at 1 o'clock. I know Miss Pat Ludwig's coming. And bring more pictures and stuff. So, and we thank Lila for opening this all up to us, and just thank you for the time that you came. Sorry, I'm not a texter. I mean, I'm a teacher. Like Lila, I'm going to send it to you once. If you don't read it, that's your problem. And Denise for reminding me who had not sent it. I had sent it, and we're glad to see Ruthie here and Myrna and the people we don't get to see very often and stuff. So if you traveled a ways, you mean it. I think even without people saying it, I mean, this is special. This is amazing. And this little guy here, what can we say? He's a number one to all of us, I'm sure, if he doesn't know that. And with the dancing fool. I didn't get married because I couldn't find anybody that would dance like him. But anyway, yeah, just before you go, just hug everybody. And we're so grateful and blessed for this family. So have fun. Thank you. If I missed anybody, oh well, Tara would say, it's up your crap. That's your problem.
And if you look around the museum, you will notice there's a lot of tags that say Ulmen on them. The Cliff and the Ulmen family have donated back to this museum. And Grandpa Ben's harnesses up there were made. And there's just every building has something from the Ulmen.
Grandma Martina's oak tables in the house over there. The schoolhouse is where all the homes went to school. So that's kind of a special building too. And all are fully labeled. If you read everything, you'll find the Ulmen name is a lot of places in here.
So from all of us to all of you, and thank you for letting us share Tara. We have a lot of love. We might not say it, but it's here. So enjoy each other, and God bless America.